Okay, so first place to start, this axiom: 3 and 4, 7 and 1. 3 and 4, 7 and 1. That's everything in music. Every instrument. That's everything in music. It's everything for chords. It's everything for scale. So like, a lot of people will describe the major scale as being one whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. That's a complete crap description. That's like instructions on how to build it. It's like instructions on how to bake a cake, not a definition of what a cake is, and it doesn't really help you as much going forward. 3 and 4, 7 and 1 is the same, includes the same data, but it's in this form that will actually do you some good in the future. So 3 and 4, 7 and 1, that's where the half steps are. Everything, the distance between any other two numbers is a whole step. So it's 2 frets between any two numbers, any two consecutive numbers. So 2 and 3, 1 and 2, 6 and 7, 5 and 6. They're always 2 frets apart, except for 3 and 4, 7 and 1. Right? So if I'm holding a chord, and I know that this is a 3, then I know that here's a 4. Right? But I know that this is a 2, a whole step down. Right? So, but if I know this is a 5, then this is a 6. And this is a 7. If I want a flat 6, would be a sharp 5 in that context probably, but so here's a 1, a root, then there's a 7, because 7 and 1 are together. 6. So that helps you to morph any chord. Just knowing 3 and 4, 7 and 1 helps you morph any chord into any other chord that you know the recipe for. So one of the places to start, besides knowing 3 and 4, 7 and 1, is just to memorize this shape. This is root, root, 3, 5. Notice I'm skipping the A and E strings. It's just a smaller, more manageable form of this old sounding, which has an extra 5 and an extra root. And that information will come in handy later, but we're not going to use it right now. That's our shape. Root, root, 3, 5. Right? So if you know you need a flat 3, then that 3 is going to go down there. If you know you need a flat 7, then here's a root, 7, flat 7. Right? You know you need a 4, maybe you take that 5 down to a 4. Right? Alright, so root, root, 3, 5. And then the other shape you want to memorize is this. Root, 5, root, 3. You need a 4, you need a flat 3, you need a 2. Right? You need to, if you know this shape and this shape, and then you also know 3 and 4, 7 and 1, then you can see how to morph these shapes into other things. Now, that doesn't teach you all the formulas that you need to know, but we'll get to that. The other thing that 3 and 4 shows us is, and this is really where this is the whole context we're going to learn all of this stuff in, is the chords in a key. What you want to do when you're looking at your guitar is see the key you're in, assuming you're playing tonal music. You look down and you just see a bunch of numbers, not a bunch of letter names. I mean, those are useful, but what you mainly want to see in any sort of performing or writing context is probably just a bunch of numbers. So in the key of G, 1, 2, 3, like the 1 chord, or what's that shape? The 2 chord, but it's minor. In other words, it's got a flat 3 instead of a 3. The 3 chord. Now remember, 3 and 4 are together, and that's true in the case of a scale. By the way, a key is just a scale, right? It's a scale, and it's all the chords that you can derive from that scale. So you can make out of the notes of that scale. So there's 3, but 4 is a half step up. 4 is major, 5 is major, 6 is minor, 7 is diminished. It's got a root, root. Well, this one does. It has 2 roots, but you don't have to. And it's got a flat 3, because remember that was 3, flat 3. That's 5, flat 5. And then here's 1 again, because 7 and 1 are together. Right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right? But what we really want to do is learn them in this pattern for now, because we're going to take several patterns and we're going to connect them together like Voltron again across the fingerboard. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2 is minor, 3 is minor, 4 is major. Remember, root 5, root 3. 5 is major, 6 is minor. Now you need to be able, I'll send you some charts, some number charts. You need to be able to play through any song knowing just this pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, you know, every 50 song practically is 1, 6, 4, 5. Ridiculous amount of reverb for that genre there, but so 1, 6, 4, 5. And type of reverb. That's like a 80s thing. Now this is the framework in which we're going to learn a bunch of fancy voicings. But the most important thing right now is that you learn the framework. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we'll connect another shape onto this. Namely 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. Now, we can do them all as bar chords. 7, root, remember this is root 5, root 3. Diminished has a flat 5, it's got a flat 3. Right, so 7, 1, and then 2, we're going to do a D minor shape there. But really, I'd rather you go ahead and memorize, instead of just doing bar chords everywhere, let's start learning some fancier voicings. So like, there's our 3 and our 4, we could go ahead and play that there. But instead of moving away for 5, let's stay here. Notice I've gained us 2 fingers here, and those are going to come in handy. So I'm playing, you know, a subset of a G shape. I'm just cutting out the A and high E strings, so it's a little more Keith Richards that way. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to go ahead and start playing the half diminished 7 chord. So root, flat 5, and this is a flat 7 because this is a root, and then a flat 3. And then for our 1 chord, let's play a C shape. And then for our 2 chord. So again, you need to be able to play any songs through there. So 1, 6, let's say 2, 5, 1, 6, 4, 5, minor 4 chord. Right? So you need to be able to play in that pattern, be able to play songs. Like I said, I'll send you some number charts. I know I'm giving you a ton of stuff right now, but I'm trusting you'll have, you know, you'll just take the time to teach your hands it. I'm going to change chords, I'm going to change keys because I want some room down here. So let's go to the key of A. So far we've got this pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we can play all the chords there. And we've got this pattern, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. Right? I'm going to connect a new pattern. I'm assuming this, you know, by this point of the video, you're 3 weeks into working on this. 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to get a lot of action out of this. Not mainly because you may think of that as your sort of scale home. So 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I mean, you need to be playing songs in this. So again, you can play them all as bar chords. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I'm always looking at the camera. 4, 5. On this 5, we're going to play a D shape. Or you can play D over F sharp. And if you ever needed a minor one like that. Exit Music for a Film by Radiohead has that. Really pretty. So 1, 6, 2, 5. Right, because I'm thinking D shape, D over F sharp though. 1, voicing wise, 6, 7. I like the half diminished 7, or you can do a triad. 1, 2, 3, and like a C minor shape. Root, flat 3, flat 7, flat 3. My chair is attacking me. Then 4, we can do a C shape. We're gonna do some fancy stuff with this eventually. And then 5, of course. So. This entire time I'm just thinking those patterns that I'm playing. It just so happens I know a bunch of voicings, and that's where we'll get you also. But we'll do it in the context of these patterns. Some of that stuff, I was using what's called secondary dominance, which we'll learn, but in the context of these patterns. These patterns will be the framework for everything that we learn. So that way you're instantly ready to use them on the gig or in writing. It's not some abstract, this abstract concept that later will introduce into the real world. We're going to learn it in the real world right off the bat. And the real world is these patterns: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll learn all kinds of cool voicings. This entire time, I'm just learning. Whole time I'm just thinking of those patterns I played.